Hi, Contractor John here. In today's project, we're going to be changing this blind. It's the bottom up, top down type of blind or whatever, and we're going to change these things. So the one thing I'm going to say is, with your blinds come directions. I'm going to give you the way to install it, but every one is a little bit different, all right? So read your directions, see what the measurements are as far as the placement of the holding clips in that. Some of them have a back set, like this one is 3/8 of an inch back from the leading edge if you want it flush, all right? This one is a little bit different because it has a 45-degree angle drywall bead, corner bead, so that's a little bit different. So we went from the inside edge of that, and it's an inside mount. These are 2x6 exterior walls, so the blind is mounted in. Now it'll be different if you're mounting it on the face, okay, but again, basic steps are going to be the same. So just read your specific directions, and have this video there, and you'll be able to kind of see how it goes or whatever. So all these things, they have a clip, and if the camera can zoom in here a little bit, I'm going to show you how these clips work. There's little tabs here, and that hooks on the front of the blind, and then there's a spring in the back of it, and then it snaps up in there. And almost all of these have this type mechanism where you put one edge in and you snap the back in, or you put the back in and you snap the front end. So you just have to look and see what you have as far as existing holders, the brackets and stuff like that. So we're going to go up to this blind up here now. Now if you can tell, if you take and you push on the blind, you'll see there's a little bit of give. That tells me the spring is in the back. So if we roll this thing, push it, and they can be difficult. Okay, and like we said, everything doesn't always go according to Hoyle. Okay, there you go. All right, so I pushed it back and rolled it forward, and that released it from the clip. And then we come down, and you can see on this one there's clips. The spring is on the front on this one. I thought it was in the back, but it was on the front. So that was going to come down. Now the directions, like I said, say 3/8 back set to the front edge of this, and the one that's in there right now is magically 3/8 of an inch. So we have the same back set on the new one, and it said 4 to 5 inches, 4 to 6 inches, so 5, and it's dead center on 5. So we could take these brackets down, and we can use the same hole to put the new brackets up in. So one thing I want to, while we're doing this here, and if you understand how the construction of a house is, there's a header above this window, a 2x12. So there's 1/2 inch drywall on the bottom, then a 2x12 goes up 11 and a quarter inches, and then your top plates. So this front edge here, you got a 1/2 inch drywall, then you'll have 1.5 inches of wood, and then typically a 1/2 inch space or a piece of plywood, and they didn't put plywood solid, they put pieces. So you could have a hollow spot. So from this leading edge 2 inches back, you can drill in that space. Go back 1/2, and then the next 1.5 inches you can drill. If you go another 1/2 inch, you're going to hit a hollow spot, and then you're going to pick up the second 2x12 on the outside of that. So when you're spacing for your holes, know that, like right now, that hole is at 1 3/4. So I have a 1/2 inch of drywall, and then I have 1.5 inches. So I'm close to the edge of that, but I'm still in it by at least 3/8 of an inch, so 1/4 inch, so we're good. Also, if the camera can pick up right here, up on top, this little blue dot right here, what happens on these brackets sometimes is that when you put it up, and you put your screw in, it sucks that in and it concaves it just a tiny bit, and now your blind won't hook on these little tabs in the front because it sucked it up a little bit. So the last installer put this little piece of cardboard or something here, which held this down just a little bit, so when it sucked up, it didn't go too far. And I will bet you that on this other one, it's the same thing over here. Because typically they run the same, but we'll see here. Oh, this one doesn't have one on that side, so apparently there was something right there that made them put it there or whatever. So leave that little spacer there, because that's going to be a clue that there's a problem there or whatever. So now take your new clip, and again, I know where the 3/8 is because I already measured it. I know where that spot is. Because I looked at that, I measured that old one, so I can just go by the paint line on that. So, and then we're going to screw this one up. All right, there we go. Now, that one sucked up just a little bit. It's a little bit crooked, so I'll loosen it just a tiny bit and straighten it out. Now, this one has holes for 2 screws. So, and I'm going to use both of them. I was actually, the one in the front came out in front of that last one that we had. So, it got more of the meat of the 2x12. All right, there we go. There we go. That one's good there. Now, got the second bracket. We're going to do the same thing with it over here. Remember, I'm just going by my old paint line because I know that was 3/8 of an inch. These cordless screwdrivers are just worth their weight in gold, I'll tell you. All right, I got a feeling that one might have sucked up just a tiny bit too far. We'll see. All right, so that's up there now. There's our brackets up now. And now we have our new blind. And it's pretty easy. The brackets are the difficult part to get up, but it's just take your time and measure. Now this one here, those little tabs go in the front and then the back rolls up and snaps in. So let's see. Now again, you want to make sure that you center this thing in this opening. There's not much slack. There's probably a good 1/4 inch. Yeah. That one's not going to go. This one hooked. This one here did not. And as I suspected, this one is a little bit tight. So what I'm going to do is loosen this one up. And I'm going to put, again, just a tiny piece of cardboard, like a matchbook cover back there, or those legal pads, a piece of cardboard from the back of those legal pads. I'll stick a little piece in there as a little shim, and that'll drop that down enough where this thing will clip in there. All right, so I've got a little piece of cardboard. And if you're doing this, put the screws in it and hold the bracket up first, and then just slip the cardboard in there rather than trying to hold it all together and do that. Just slip this piece of cardboard between the bracket and the ceiling. And again, don't over tighten. All right, that should do it. We'll see if that did it or not. And again, you want to get it up there. And, yep, there, it hooked that time, I heard it. Okay, now you want to make sure you're centered in this opening. Alrighty, there we go. Now, and then roll it to the back, snap, snap. There you go. It's all in them bracket placement, Ned. If you get that right, then it goes really easy. But if you're not, alright, and there you go. One blind installed. This one, the string got a little. There we go. Alrighty. There's the bottom. And we're going to take this. Don't arrest me for taking that tag off. So, there we go. And that's it. It's pretty easy. Like I said, the brackets are the tricky part. Measuring those, getting those right. This is a replacement, so a little bit easier. But little trick here too, when you're measuring so you're not drawing on the drywall, take a piece of blue painter's tape, the 2-inch wide, and put it across the top. And then you can measure, do your marks or whatever, like, because if you got a longer window, you're going to want to find center and everything. Put the tape across, mark on the tape, put a little hole through, and then peel the tape back, and then you've got a mark where your screw's going to go. So that'll keep you from marking up the walls and stuff like that. Same thing if you're hanging a picture or something and you're trying to get down from the ceiling and over that. Put some blue painter's tape there and mark on the blue painter's tape. Put a little indent or something, pull the tape off, and you've got the indent on the wall without marking up your wall. So Contractor John tip of the day there. So here you go. Got the blind up, and I know this lady will be happy because this is the last blind we were doing for her, and they're all set. So it's Contractor John. If you have any comments or questions, please visit my Facebook page. Leave a comment there. I really do appreciate the correspondence between us and everything. Visit YouTube and see Contractor John YouTube channel. And brand new, 8 weeks old or something like that, is my podcast, DIYHousemedic.com. Take a look over there. I release a new podcast every Monday morning. All right, DIYHousemedic.com. Have a blessed day.